Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey.
Well, ready to let them loose?
Yep, that's it. Let's see if they make us run.
Oh,
Probably so.
yeah, that one tried to get after him, but other than that, what can you expect? I mean, can you blame them? Oh yeah, they're getting after us now. Go, Joey, go!
Hey man!
Hey, man, buddy. I'm gonna get in the truck. You gotta go back and get your camera.
But also, just get as many as you can off the one that's to it. Out.
You gotta move away.
Do that side again. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Well, here we are again.
Evening,
Hey,
everybody. I've got it set up with popcorn already.
We don't have any popcorn. Where's our popcorn?
I'll ship you some. Give me your address.
Email it. Hope everybody in the chat's doing good. I don't know. I hope y'all as busy as I am in your bee yard, if that's what you want to be. But
Busy as you want to be in your bee yard.
yeah. Well, Keith and Brad, how y'all doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. A little cold spell tonight.
You know what? I was surprised when I walked out this morning. I hadn't looked at the weather to see what it was going to be like the next day lately. And I walked out this morning and it felt cool. I said, "Oh, where'd this come from?" It felt pretty good. But,
Yeah, we're probably warm for Brad, but it's supposed to hit about 32 tonight here. A little bit of frost.
No.
Hope they miss it. But
it's not much colder than that here
okay.
right now. Actually, it was about up to that today. Well,
Yeah.
I think my weather station overestimates the temperature. Sometimes I think the sun hits it, but it was nice and sunny here today. The sun was very hot, but we had a north wind, kept things really cooled off.
Yeah, it was chilly here today. We're in the 50s, but it was 80, close to 80 yesterday. So still doing that springtime roller coaster here. Hope it settles out. A lot of stuff fixing to pop. So hope it don't get hurt.
Sunny enough, I thought to myself today, I go out to my home yard here, have a look under the hood. I kind of wish I hadn't done that. 16 colonies out there. There's only one alive.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Huh. And that's the ones inside?
No, that's the 16 that are outdoors here.
Oh, outdoor.
Home yard. Yeah.
Huh.
So I haven't seen my out yard for a while, so I don't know what to expect there.
Look at here. He showed up. Hey, Schawee, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Y'all ever met Schawee?
I don't think I have.
No, don't think so. How you doing?
Y'all know him, don't you? All right. Have y'all ever watched I just went blank. The Bee Man, what's his name? The Bee Man. JP the Bee Man in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him.
Bruce Schawee works with him, used to work with him. He's on a lot of his videos.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we were the bickering beekeepers.
Beekeepers.
How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Eddie. Well, you got out of your bee yard, huh?
Yeah, I just got out of the shower. Came in there, went get it in the shower, and just got out.
Yeah.
You've been running all day, take a shower and sit down, you're gonna get sleepy.
Yeah. Well, I got my grandson spending the night tonight, so he's
Yeah.
a handful. So
Uh,
he'll keep me up for a while.
yeah.
How many of those queens made it back, Schawee?
Um, I had bad issues with raccoons.
Again?
Yeah, they they hit me, and I never had that problem before. It started last year, um, and I thought I had it, but they when you're in you around the swamps and stuff is for every one you get dispatched, they got 10 to take its place, kind of like alligators. But
Now we know where JW's been taking his raccoons to.
yeah.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, I'm
But
at war with them too in Folsom, but they just keep taking my buckets and dragging them all over the place. They figured out how to get into them now.
Yeah.
who that is? That's Eddie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look small. I couldn't. Excuse my eyesight. I got them Cadillacs in my eyes. I can't see too good.
Yeah.
but yeah, Eddie. I lost. Um, I had 5 queens in my backyard, and I usually do good getting them mated. Not one of them got mated.
Mm, really?
I was dumbfounded with that.
huh?
Wow.
Never had a problem at the camp. Um, the ones that didn't get knocked over by the coons, they got mated. I think I got 7. I had one. I don't know what happened to them. They disappeared. The coons never fooled with that, but the little 2-frame mating noose is not the way to go. And I kind of knew that, but I do better with my 3 frames.
The
You know,
two frames is good later in the season.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I did a couple of 2 framers today, but I was just looking at the temperature when we was talking about it earlier. Uh, it's going to be in the low 40s here in the morning, so I think I'm probably need to bring them in here tonight because I got 3 of
It,
those.
it's gonna get that low.
Here it
Really?
is.
Well, it's staying 68, 70 degrees all day today with a nice breeze.
Yeah, it was nice. It was in the 50s this morning. It's going to be 45 in the
Ooh.
morning. And I've got 3 2-frame. Well, it's 2 frames of brood with sail on it
Yeah.
and one honey. So I probably when we get through the live tonight, I may bring them in here.
Mm.
That sail may get chilled. You think? Because
How many bees you put in there with them?
I didn't shake a lot of extra bees this time into those. I was, but I got busy with some other stuff.
Is the cell right on the brood?
Most of them are, and there's each one has a couple cells. So out of the 2, maybe one of them will make it. There's one of them that's kind of down on the corner. It may
My
not
experience, I have a lot of experience with it, but I have experience that I had some cells that got chilled, and the bees didn't care to specifically incubate the cell. They incubated the brood,
Yeah,
but not the queen cell. So I think that's the wisdom behind putting the cell right on the sealed brood.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
yeah.
Uh,
Well,
when it's
this is
like
a
that,
swarm cell.
they'll rather take care of the brood than a cell.
Yeah, a swarm cell down at the bottom. I think that's pretty susceptible to chilling.
Yeah, this is a swarm cell, so I didn't try to cut it off. I just left it where it was at. But I didn't know it was going to get hot. I mean, cold either. So
I didn't think it was gonna get that cold.
Say hi. You have fans?
Well, Eddie, you picked up any more
I
swarms?
appreciate that chat.
What's that, Schawee?
You picked up any more swarms that landed in your pocket?
I can't get them under control this year. It's ridiculous. I feel like every time I
Uh-oh.
walk into a yard, there's another swarm. It's out of control.
I was.
Hey, boss.
It's a weird season this year. I can't figure it out. Mine started with the swarm cells real early, and they wasn't crowded or nothing,
No.
you know. And I was disappointed in it. Um, but I utilized all of what I got off of them, you know. Um, but I had more hive swarm than I wanted to because I just couldn't get to them all, you know.
I know the feeling.
So
Yeah, I had a lot swarm that had plenty of room to lay. Like I went in early and put comb in the brood nest, opened them up more. Usually that buys you time, but it seems like it did not buy any time this year at all.
Well, yesterday I watched one swarm, and I'm like, "There's no way." And I went in there, they had 6 frames drawn out the 10, and it swarmed.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. I
but
think
I did
down
catch
here
the
this time of
swarm.
year, I think it's more than just crowded, or I think it's got something to do with that nectar flow starting, and it
Yeah,
just gets them excited. Even if they got plenty of room, for some
but
reason they just start building themselves here. I,
I
I
always
weighed
did.
one. I weighed one off this today.
That,
Don't know where it come from.
You have a lot of tongue oil up there by you, Joey?
Yeah, they scattered out. The next to me used to be a tongue oil field when I was growing up, several acres.
I've never seen it
Uh,
bloom as heavy as it's blooming right now.
yeah, they did here last year too. Just
where was that, Eddie?
The tongue oil,
tongue oil, tongue nut
yeah,
tree.
they're bringing it in like crazy.
Mm.
And I didn't
Yeah,
even know they went to it, but yeah, the bees were all over it. I got
yeah, they
a
do.
couple yards
Going
of
to
this
bed?
horse farm, and it's white with them.
You want to give
I
me a
don't know.
kiss?
I don't know what they get out of it. I don't know if it's just pollen or pollen and nectar. But
I
yeah,
think it's nectar coming in from them, but I don't know for sure. It sure seems like it because there's a lot. I mean, it's coming in heavy.
but I
It's not just blackberry. It doesn't
yeah.
smell or taste right.
But
That,
yeah, I was telling talking about the swarm, and I was telling Keith and Brad before we got started that I skipped some of my highs because I didn't think they needed splitting right then when I was trying to catch up and do others. So if they didn't look like they needed it, I just passed them up and went to the next one because I had some that were filling up, and I would split those. And today I was going to go back through them and see if I could pull brood out of some of them for some sales that I got from Mike and virgins that I got from Mike, not sales. But when I started going through them, and one of them was a long hive, they had like 5 frames with swarm cells on them. So I'm instead of pulling brood to fill 4 up for those virgin queens, I ended up stopping what I was doing and pulling cells out of that first hive and making nukes with that. And then I got back to making those. And like I say, every one of those I went to, there was like 3 today that had swarm cells in them, where last week they wasn't full enough to worry about swarming. Or if you looked at them, you wouldn't think, they're not going to swarm. I get another week out of these before I split them. They
that's
got
what happened to me yesterday with that.
they
I'm
got
like, "There's
swarm
no
cells
way,"
anyway.
you know, and they were full of swarm cells.
Yeah,
That makes it tough to keep up with.
I
yeah.
know. I mean, especially when you're one-man operation, you only
Mm-hmm.
can do so much.
So I was gonna make 4 nukes today, Ended up making 7. But
Yeah,
the
that's
four are strong. The ones that got the queen cells on them are swarm cells on them. That's the ones I said I need to bring in here tonight. I want to relocate them anyway. So
Yeah, I had one of I guess it was about a week and a half ago. One of my breeder queens. When I went to go graft, I saw cap swarm cells. I was like, oh no, So I went and found her, pulled her out in a nuke, and put her on another rail. I'm like, I'm safe. And then the next time I come into that yard, that hive was swarming. Sent off multiple version swarms, and there wasn't even a mated queen in there. But I should have known better. I should have knocked down all the extra cells, and I didn't. But I guess I had to learn that lesson harder.
yeah.
And I figured that it's going to be good genetics. It's one of my breeders, I'm going to let them make it. But I should have gone through and made sure there were no extra cells. And yeah, so they sent off a ton of bees. I got them. And there were multiple versions in the swarm. I caged up 2 of them and left the one in there. And then there's still one in the hive with more bees. But I really think that that's more common than people think, where they send off multiple versions and swarm. And I think it's less common that first one comes out and kills the other ones.
Well, I had a swarm. Oh, this was, I don't know, 7 years or 8 years ago. It was a huge swarm. It filled up a double deep, and they had 7 virgins in it. And I caged some, and I just sat there and watched them. And it was a light switch came on, and they balled 3 of them out the 4 that was left in there, and they left that 4th one alone. Now, how they decided that, I don't know. But, I managed to get them out, but they just balled them to kill them. They decided what queen they wanted. But I'm sure if I didn't fool with them, they probably would have split from that, with some virgins leaving with some of the bees because there was just so many bees. But they balled them,
huh.
and they left that one alone. Now, what makes them decide that, I have no idea.
Hey, is not that link pinned? Showing pinned to y'all?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's down on the bottom. When I went to YouTube to look at it, it's stuck on the bottom. And when I clicked on the 3 dots, it says the option is unpin it. So I don't know why it's showing it down there. That's weird.
I just went over and looked. It's at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at the top on mine.
What we looking at?
I've got the link pinned over the chat in case somebody wants to come in.
Oh,
yeah, mine pinned to the bottom last night for or Thursday night for some reason.
Okay, they must have changed.
Yours is pinned to the top when I look at it in YouTube.
Yeah.
So who knows?
It's showing at the bottom of mine.
Yeah, it showed at the bottom of mine.
I just didn't know if people could see it.
I'm just looking that bee man at Faith Apiaries. What's your name?
Brad.
Brad? Is that a cat that you hold?
That's a big old cuddly cat.
Oh, okay. I had to blow it up to see. I said, "Oh, I don't know if that's a raccoon or a cat, but it's big."
That would be fun.
He's pretty big, but I always caveat that he's over 19 years old, so he does whatever he wants, he gets.
Yeah, that's like mine. Mine. I could stay up at night and she's sleeping on the sofa. When I turn the TV off, she instantly wakes up and runs to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Get her spot. Well, Eddie, how you doing with your queens?
Doing all right. The batch that's emerging tomorrow and Monday is the one I'm concerned about because those are the ones I grafted when it was in the 30s. Yeah.
In the 30s. I think you're gonna be fine. Um, but time will tell.
Yeah,
You
I'll
know,
find out. Like I said, tomorrow and
you,
Monday.
you still on your Tuesday schedules?
Yeah. So I grafted on Tuesday and Wednesday this past week because it was so cold.
Yeah,
That first one I grafted into, I mean they were not happy. I feel like I was not doing the hive justice. You know, I was killing an awful lot of bees.
yeah.
So I
But
figured I could still do Wednesday and still make my schedule. It still works. You know, I just don't have that extra cushion day because I'm
yeah.
gonna be out before I have to cage them up.
Well, I'm gonna get with you and Ken later on, sometime beginning of next month,
Okay.
and see how y'all are with the queens.
Yeah,
How
well, both
Ken's
of us are
doing
doing
with
every Tuesday. What's that?
how Ken's doing with his.
He's doing all right. Yeah. I said we're on the same schedule. Just so either one of us can help the other one out if need be.
Yeah.
You know? Like he had a rough take a couple of weeks ago. He came and got a handful from me. Um, but he got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I
But
thought Joey was going to come get some of them, but he didn't.
Joey needs some more hives.
Well, yeah. My timing's been so messed up. Sorry, I got to put a cough drop in my mouth. But when I like to get sales from somebody, I like to get so many hives done, and pick them up as a as a group. But when I could only get with my health, but I could only get like 3 done one day and 2 done one day, and then have to skip a day and then 2 more. It started out good. I did 5 one day.
yeah.
I should just say I did the whole yard instead of 5, but that's all that was there. But when you do that, it's just hard to go pick up sales and come back and put them in it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a while when you get your batch of cells, you know, because they're not waiting on you. You know, when I the last one I got from Eddie, he told me, I think it was that night you had called me about, they might be hatching today. I'm like, well, I had 5 of them.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I was real disappointed in my backyard. You know, I never really had problems with them getting mated. You know, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm behind on doing the mating nukes. I've got 15 of them running right now. 13 of the 15 got mated. They got another week before they're ready to be pulled and caged. But I was supposed to do another 15 the following week, and I was going to every week for 4 weeks add 15 to 20 more. But I've just
Yeah.
had so much other trying to play catch up with all the swarming situations. It's just been nuts.
Well, that's the thing is you think you caught up with it, and next thing you know, it's like Joey said, you just went through the hive and they were good, and next thing you know, they want to swarm on you. You know.
Yep.
Hey,
Hey,
Todd.
Todd,
How are you all doing?
good.
Doing
We're
good.
good.
Yeah.
You
I
doing all
thought
right?
I thought I'd jump in here, since I'd be the only one with an accent. So, well, Brad has the same accent as me, so almost.
I think we all got accents here.
Not really.
Oh,
Come on, Judy. You want to get on TV? Come on.
Hey, Schawee, what's up with that Bruce in front of you? Oh, now it says Schawee on the end of it.
I'm doing that.
Okay.
What?
Your
I
name
am.
is Bruce Sharwath instead of Schawee, but now
I am.
Shawee's on the end.
I put
Oh, I
Schawee
see.
on.
I don't know. I saw on Facebook. Facebook don't identify me as Shawee.
Mm.
Yeah. I see, baby.
So how's things way out west, Todd?
It's warm today. I think it was about 86, something like that. It's 85 right now. So
Wow.
let me check the humidity, make you guys mad at me. It's only 32%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do
I'm
we,
sure
do
ours
we
is
ever
down,
even have
too.
numbers that low, Joey? I don't even.
It's sticky.
No,
I don't think our meters even go that
no.
low.
Do they go that low?
No, they started about 50.
But very seldom they go past 70. They stay up high.
Yeah.
80, 90, 95%,
We,
100%.
Oh yeah.
we'll get a 60 every now and then, but all that does is mess you up the next day when it's real humid.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I've been, I work outside all my life, so it doesn't bother me as much. But well, now it does because my health ain't all there. So, I get tired quicker. I sweat a lot more than before, you know. I think it's some of that medicine I'm taking that make me want to sweat a lot. But I take my breaks.
I started mixing sea salt with bottled water and drinking that, getting electrolytes. I do like a half a teaspoon of I forgot the brand I buy, Baja Gold. So I take a half a teaspoon of that and I put it in the water bottle, shake it up, and then just drink it. And it gives you a bunch of electrolytes and no, obviously no sugar. So it helps. It helps out a lot. But I know you guys over there sweat a ton. So I don't know how many bottles you'd have to drink.
I go through a lot. Um, you know, they got sometimes where I go in at noontime, 1 o'clock, and shower because I'm soaking wet. And I'm talking about it's like I came out of the water, of a pond or a pool. And I'll shower and try to refreshen up and put on another set of clothes and go back out.
Wow.
Yeah, I
I know
keep multiple shirts in my truck because of that.
in the summertime, when it gets hot here, sometimes it gets up to 110, 115. If I jump in the shower after I come back from the bee yard and just sweating, and I take a shower, there's no cold water. It's all warm to hot. Yeah, that's what comes out of the ground. There's no refreshing about it.
Yeah.
It'd be better off not taking one, but well.
Y'all
I
have to
remember
try
one
that
time
trick
I was
with the
cutting
water.
grass and weed eating and stuff, and I finished all that. I'm like, I'm going to jump in a swimming pool. I jumped in the swimming pool. I jumped right back out because it was like going in a sauna. It was so hot.
Already, huh?
But
Yeah, Keith, you should try that. I get that salt off of Amazon.
Okay.
and what is it called?
It's called Baja Gold.
I have to check it out.
It's a little pricey, but a bag will last a long time, a long, long time.
And it's a half a teaspoon,
Half a teaspoon per the regular size
12
bottle.
ounce. Mm.
Yeah, to our 16 ounce, I think is what they are.
16.
Yeah, I think so. But you get, at first it's like I'm drinking salt water, but you get used to it pretty quick.
Yeah, you got to have something. You can't just drink 10 gallons of water because
No.
that'll do strange things to you too.
That's right. That's right. That's not good either.
All of them freeze
Big Mike.
pops. The freeze pops. They got a lot of electrolytes in them. That a lot of sports teams, high school football and all that, they use it a lot. And I keep that at the camp. And when I take a break or whatever, run down and go eat 3 or 4 of them. You know.
Yeah.
Before I retired, there was a boy that was on my crew. His dad was a fire marshal, and they used to get boxes and boxes of those some kind of little packets, little small packet, and you open it up. You can either pour it into your bottle of water or pour a little water in the packet and just kind of move it around a little bit and just drink it right then. But it had electrolytes in it. I can't remember what it was. A little powder.
When I go to the plants and do removals when it's hot like that, they offer that to me all the time. Them I don't know what they are. They're about a foot long in a little tube and kind of like freeze pops. And the plants use a lot of them too.
You've been doing a lot of removal, Schawee?
No, I've been turning them down. Uh, I'm just going after the easy ones right now. I can't get on no ladders. My balance is too bad to get up on a ladder. Uh, so I'm gonna lay low this year. Do my nukes and stuff, and then shut it down. Get the surgery done and recoup from that. But I did a couple of them.
Thank you, Ripple.
But I've been turning them down.
What's old JP doing? I hadn't seen a video forever in him.
I don't know what he. We talked yesterday or last night, and he's into the making of money now. He don't want to. I guess he don't want to spend too much time doing videos.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they spend a lot of time with the videos and stuff and editing and doing this to get them perfect. Uh, and then sometimes he stay up all night long doing that, and then he's too tired the next day to go do a removal. You know, um, I need to start. Well, it ain't gonna be this year, but I guess once I get back on my feet for next year, I'm gonna probably start back again. But it's just hard when you come in from a removal. It's a hard one, and you know you got to spend hours editing and all that stuff. It's just too much.
Yeah.
You know. But I didn't. I don't know how to put all that music and all with him and yapping and all them do. You know. So I'm just straightforward. Just put it out there.
Yeah. I was watching one of your old gator videos on YouTube yesterday, I think it was, or day before. It popped up, so I watched it again.
Yeah.
If y'all ain't never watched some of his older videos, that man's standing out in the water. He ain't in no boat hollering, shoot him. He's standing in that water, pulling that gator up to him.
That was that 11, 10. And I videoed it, and they said, "Well, why you videoed it like that?" I said, "Well, if I would have disappeared, I wanted to record, what happened to me." But I always win, you know. I think 2 years ago, a 9-foot got a hold of my finger. That wasn't fun. It was just a snip, and it was a crushed finger, you know. When I went to the doctor, they were waiting for me. They said, "Man, we thought your whole hand was gone."
That's probably a nasty bite either way, isn't it?
Very
all
nasty.
Germs, you got to really clean it up good.
Yeah, infection is real bad with them. They just got a nasty, nasty mouth, and bacteria so bad in them. You know, what helped me out on that deal was I had uh, antibiotics already in me. You know, but yeah, you got to be careful with them. because you can get infection quick with them.
I don't remember you getting bit by an alligator.
Yeah,
Must have missed
Uh,
that. Is that before or after the table saw?
that was before.
So
The
right
table
before I
saw
met you.
bites harder though.
Yeah. When I met you, you just had the table saw accident.
Yeah. A friend of mine made me a push stick where it was a hand with two fingers missing.
Oh Lord.
I remember the first time I met Schawee. I'd watched him a lot on YouTube, and it was at a Louisiana convention. I don't forgot where it was at that time. But I was taking something out to the car, and me and Shaw passed and said, "Hey, how you doing?" He's, both of us. That's just a Louisiana thing. We always speak to anybody we walk by. And once I got past him, I said, "I know that guy." And I happened to look, and I walked right by his truck. Had a sign on there, swarm removals.
Yeah.
I got to go back and find him. We sat together the whole convention, man.
Was that was in Lake Charles, I think.
Okay, yeah, somewhere around there.
I think it was in Lake Charles.
Yeah.
And then we went to Pineville that one year, and I forgot my medicine. And I think your wife had some cumin in there or something from it.
Same thing. Yep.
Yep. But that won't happen again. I got a bottle with all my medicine in it.
Yeah.
Enough for about 7, 8 days. So
Carry bag.
that's it.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Big Mike?
Not much. Still can't get in the bees. It was flurrying this afternoon.
Yikes.
I'm almost out of that light honey I got from you at Nobby.
Need more?
Well, no, not yet, but I've been dribbling it on my ice cream. I got to start with that darker stuff.
Yeah, the knotweed.
Yeah, I haven't busted into that yet.
Dennis, they do get pollen from the magnolia. I don't know about a nectar. Do y'all know?
That's what I was looking at. That I have one in one of my bee yards, and I see bees on them. I don't know what they get from it. If it's pollen or nectar.
Yeah. I've seen that big flower there, and it'd be full of bees, and they picking up that pollen out of it.
Yeah.
Y'all seeing the yopine starting to bloom?
Got little knots on them. The yopine. That's what I was trying to say, Keith. The other night, I couldn't remember the name of it. Yopine.
Yopine
And the privet's got little old bumps on it.
See, I don't see the bumps on the privet yet, but I see on the yopine.
Yopine.
It's a hedge. It looks real similar to the privet, but it's a little different color.
People keep telling me the privet's blooming. I'm like, it's not the privet. It's the yopine.
Yeah.
The flowers are like on the stem, kind of. It's the yopine.
Yeah.
Privet puts out a little stalk with a bunch of flowers on it.
Does yopine do any nectar or just?
Oh yeah, last year we had a serious flow from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, here they say it's a holly.
Yeah, yopine holly.
Lord knows the bees love a good holly bush.
Yeah, we don't. Yopine, we don't have that south of the lake.
Oh, y'all don't have it?
I don't think so. I never heard of it.
Well, I tell you what, it's worse than privet when you trying to keep the fence rows clean. Privet and yopine is what the dairy farmers used to use around here to keep their cows in. The fence.
So it's yopine is a vine.
No, it looks just like privet, really.
Yeah.
Oh, bushes like
you could. It's like a hedge. You could actually cut it down and make it hedge out. But it don't stay that way long. It'll shoot out like crazy. You can see it on my video sometimes in the background. It kind of mingled in with the privet. If you didn't know what you're looking
I'm gonna have to look it up and see.
at, we got a lot of it around here.
I
You'll
know
have
we
to
got
point it
stuff
out in
y'all
one of
don't
your
have.
videos, Joey.
What's that?
You'll have to point it out in one of your videos
I will. I'll do that.
so we all know what it is.
Huh.
Not that we probably have it up here.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I got a picture of it or not. I do. I'll show it.
I know we have something that y'all don't have. Is Fouchette.
I was about to ask you, when does that bloom?
That blooms in the fall. That's September, October, November.
That grows in the water, right?
Are you there, Philip?
Yeah, it can grow in the water. It grows on dry ground too. But I mean, something with a lot of moisture or something like that. But you don't want it. It's terrible.
I guess I don't have it.
No, it's terrible. That's what hurt the trapping industry years ago. It started ruining the pelts on the animals. It's a little. They call it the Fouchette, the Cajun French is the devil's fork. They, and what it does, if you walk through it, it gets on your pants leg, and it'll work through your pants and get into your skin. And the more you move, the deeper it gets into you.
Wow.
And first time I ever went through it, I was dragging a deer out the swamp, and I cut across, and I went through these pretty yellow flowers. I'm like, time I got to the levee, I was getting it. I thought ants were biting me. It was terrible. I had to take my pants off to move. It was that bad.
Oh.
But it'll dig in your skin.
You get a decent flow from it, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. The bees love it.
Do you guys have Osage orange trees down there?
What kind?
It's called Osage orange. I know it's up in Missouri because I had some on my property. And those are trees, they're trees, but you do not want to mess with them. If they grow, whatever spot they grow on, just leave them alone because those thorns will rip you in half that they have on there. And the old timers, they would cut them down and use them as fence posts. They never rot. The wood doesn't rot.
Oh.
So if the tree was perfect post size, they'd chop it up and dig a hole and bury it.
No. I don't think we have that.
They have a fruit on there. It's green, and it looks like a brain, but it's round.
Yeah.
It's got that brain kind of look to it, on the outside. But boy, the thorns are.
I think that's called a podark right down here in Texas.
Is it? Yeah, you guys probably have it down there.
It sounds like it's got little thorns on it, but it's not near as bad as the honey locust thorns.
Yeah, the honey locust thorns, we get them 3-4 inches long.
I planted a couple honey locust trees last year, but I don't see any thorns on them.
Hopefully the thornless ones, if you planted them.
I think there are. I got them from Sammy.
I'll get you something that got thorns on them.
No, I don't want the thorns.
Yeah, it's just long.
I mean, we have them at the base is 1/4 inch, and it's 3.5, 4 inches long. They got some big ones. You don't want to run into the tree.
Huh. Yeah, Eric, I didn't know that they sprouted. All the old timers I talked to back there, their dads planted them and not planted them, but used them as fence posts, and they never. Because I asked that question, And they said that they never grew back. Oh, that's weird. It might be a different one on the other side of Kansas too.
If it's the same as the bodark tree, the bodark has a really hard yellow wood when you cut it. Real
Yeah,
dense.
it is yellow. It is yellow.
I bet it's
A yellowish. Yeah. But did it have those fruits on there like size of grapefruits?
Oh yeah, we call them horse apple when I was growing up.
Huh.
Yeah, it's probably the same tree. Yeah, those thorns are like razor blades. They get into your skin and they'll just rip you. If you move, they'll rip you wide open.
Yeah, I had one grab me at the bee yard. I got one growing in the middle of my bee yard, and it grabbed my.
You better move your bee yard. So things are nasty to cut down.
I just got to trim the limbs up. They look like what's that tree on the Harry Potter show? The Whomping Willow. Their limbs go everywhere. That's sweet.
Well, it's a hardy tree because it was the only tree on the back fence row that got hit by the tornado that was still standing. Everything else was wiped out.
There's one like right up like a couple of feet off the corner of my cabin here. They're all over the place out here. They scare the heck out of you. One of those fruits drop off. It makes a big poop on the ground.
I've got a picture here, but let's see if I can show this. Got to find me first.
Is that privet?
That's your pond. Not a real good picture, but that's Louisiana your pond.
What's blooming and around my house and around Dallas is the red tip petunia.
Well, that's not blooming right now. I looked that up on the internet, but
which is a ligustrum type of ligustrum. Privet's a type of ligustrum too, but it's a small leaf.
that's what we was talking about. A lot of people kind of get confused with the yopon and the privet until it blooms.
Yeah, the plant looks almost the same to me, but the blooms are different because the blooms on the yopon are kind of more on the stem.
There's a little bit of difference in the color of the leaf too.
Yeah, I think it's a little darker, right?
I think so.
Which one makes a black berry? That's the privet, right? The black.
Yeah.
Well, the yopon makes a berry.
Yeah, it was red.
It's red, yeah. I think the privet makes like
it's like a little purple berry.
Yeah.
Oblong shaped.
So the yopon got red berries?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to. We have some that I see red berries on.
You can come get you a truckload of them if you want to.
We got enough stuff at the camp.
I think you could just cut little pieces of the limb and just throw them in a bucket and throw them out somewhere else, and they'd grow.
They'll grow, huh?
Probably.
The Chinese privet around us, it blooms later on. It's like the end of May when it blooms. That stuff grows everywhere. It clog up the wood.
Well, Eddie, the yellow jasmine is done.
Yeah, it was short lived this year. I didn't really I didn't take a big hit from it this year at all. I was holding my breath because it looked like it was coming on strong again. But we had so much other stuff happening when it was blooming that the bees didn't take a hit at all this year. Last year it kicked my butt, but
yeah, that was the only thing that was blooming for them though.
Yeah, they were so bad last year.
Wayne said we was talking about the same tree. Which same tree? Had several. We brought up several.
We need Johnny from Tennessee Mountain Bees to come on here and tell us what we're supposed to be talking about.
There's JW. That's the one that's been bringing the coons to your house, Schawee.
Oh yeah. Let me take
Yeah,
a look
he's
at
been
it.
telling us he was taking them to another one of his properties.
Ah,
This is like Hollywood Squares now.
Hey, did you guys see Tom's video the other day about when he was over Brian's with Mark and Queens?
No.
See the one that marked it and colored the whole thing?
Yeah, I'll go if he teaches that class next year in St. Louis. I'll fly over there to watch that.
I didn't know he
Queen
marked that
marking
queen.
class.
Was it a queen or a drone?
Well, he did. He showed the picture of a drone, but I guess he also did it to a queen.
Okay.
We should send him a coloring book of queens.
I guess he's just spray painting them now.
That's what it looked like. He was spray painted.
Yeah. I hadn't really tried that.
Who was it said the other night? Just line them up on a piece of wood and get a roller and just roll over the top of their backs.
Huh?
I saw Bruce from Bruce's Bees cover one in red, and the thing lasted the whole season.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it was
red.
covered.
Missed that thing.
I got one
What
right
was it?
here. It's free. Somebody wants to come get it.
Mean?
Yeah. I wrote on the top of the box, "Bees are psycho." I was doing splits, and I was bringing the queen to the top above a double screen board. When I got into this one, when I found her, I put resources in the top and bottom and wrote, "Bees are psycho, making queens on top and bottom." Yeah, if anybody wants her, she's still alive. Had a bunch of bees. I tell you what, though, she was the best laying queen in my whole yard. Though she had wall-to-wall brood on about 6 or 8 frames in the box.
Seems the way they're always like that when they're mean.
Yeah, she was marked too. She's the one that I think she's the one that stung her daughter stung my son. It made him have the reaction.
Yeah, I got no tolerance for mean bees at all.
Well, I normally don't have mean bees, but all mine are mad at me right now. Some of them, I don't know what it is. That I got some time you pop the lid, they coming out after you. But I'm going to wait because they may settle down. If they don't, I'm going to be requeening somebody.
This one I thought I was going to do it last, but I thought I forgot where it was, and I thought I was doing one next to it, and opened that top up, and they just busted in my face. I was glad to find her, though.
You're better than me. The last one I had like that, we crushed her, and then the next morning I went in with a shop vac full of darn dishwater, and I sucked the whole hive right into it because I didn't want the drones getting away either.
Yeah.
I knocked down every drone that I could see in there, but there was a lot of them that were eggs, so they're going to all make it. You had a whole bunch of drone eggs in there, which I can't figure out how to knock down without tearing up a lot of stuff. But, I knocked down all the drones that were capped, but there wasn't that many of those.
Just have to go back later and scratch some more.
Yeah, if I see them, if I get a chance, I can only get out here about every 2 weeks. I'll tell you what, though, my bees out here are way better shape than the ones up at Crossroads north of Dallas. I went away from those yards just depressed of how those bees seemed like they were sick or something. These bees down here are booming. There's really nothing. They're not really bringing anything. There's not enough for them to bring in and collect, but they're growing. I've been feeding them a little bit.
I gotta go help somebody put double screen boards in a yard tomorrow. I don't mind going and helping them. I'm dreading that I'm gonna probably have to put a jacket on. because it's not my bees.
Well, is
But
that all you doing, putting those screens in, or you going to be deep diving, or just?
well, we're just gonna make sure they got resources in the top and the bottom. He wants to requeen pretty much the whole yard with my genetics, so we're gonna put those screen boards in, and then we're gonna come back on Friday and knock down queen cells and drop them.
How many you doing?
I don't know. Remember how many hives Jerry had in that yard? I'm guessing somewhere between 25 and 30.
Mm.
He took some. He got some queens from me last year, and he says he could tell a temperament difference. So he wants to go ahead and change that whole yard over, and it's convenient for me because it's only like 5 miles away from my main yard in Folsom, so it's pretty easy. I want to saturate the area with as much of those genetics as I can anyway, so it helps me out too.
I tell you, I've already told y'all before, but I worked some Russians. I've always heard them Russians are mean. I worked some last weekend, and them things was gentle compared to what mine's been like lately.
Really, I always heard they were rough.
The ones I had were, I think I ordered 5 or 6, and that's the first time I ever paid money for bees. And that was when I first started. I couldn't wait for the last one to die off. They were terrible.
Hmm. They might have just had enough to keep them busy going to get something. I don't know. They were flying pretty good that day.
I got a question. I hear you guys, when I say you guys, a lot of times you fellas down south, or basically in the United States overall, talk about a lot of different strains of bees, but I don't hear you talk about carniolans much. Why is that?
With me, I go after the feral colonies. I do a lot of removals, and then when I find some real good temperament bees, and um, they have a lot of honey and stuff like that, and they're real gentle, I would set them up and I would graft from them and change the genetics and go after that. And I changed it all. So I don't, I never, I call them my Cajun swamp bees. I can't call them much,
So
but
you don't choose, you choose just by what they are, not what they're called, kind of thing. So, I mean, what about anybody else? Is there something about carniolans that you don't care for, or?
I mean, I just got into this breeding program with the bee lab down here, so I'm using what they deal with. I don't really care what they're called as long as they perform well.
yeah,
I
No,
wouldn't
me
know.
too.
I don't even really know what I have. I figured most people say the general swarms down here are Italian, so I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I call
I'm
them
running
general
mostly
Italians.
carnies and Caucasians.
yeah. I think one of the things about carniolans that it's very common around here is they winter well, and they're very thrifty with their feed stores over winter. And as I understand, something like an Italian bee would build up fast late in the winter or early spring, and be appropriate for pollination and whatnot. Whereas carniolan might not build up as fast in that season. So I just wondered. I hear a lot of talk
If
about.
I had Italians, Brad, I'd probably put an extra medium on top of my hive of honey. They
I
eat that
see.
much up here because of our long winter.
Yeah, they
Right.
do.
One of the guys runs all mediums. He had the 3 medium brood nest, 2 supers of honey, and a sugar board, and it starved out this spring.
Yeah.
It ate everything. But he left his screen bottom board out, and I told him you can't do that. They
It's
just
remarkable how little the carniolans we run eat over the winter. They're in that hive for 5 months, and they run on 60 pounds of feed.
And I hear the Russians are even more stingy,
Yeah.
but they also, some of them have an attitude.
And Carniolans, in my experience, are very gentle, very gentle.
Yeah. So the Caucasians.
But I don't really know anybody that except with LSUB lab and stuff where they fool with. Um, I mean, everybody that sells nukes and stuff like that, they're all feral colonies. They're not particular. You know,
Yeah.
um, like the pole line or whatever like that. But when I started grafting and stuff, and I don't treat any of my bees at all. Never did for over 25 years. But once I got what I was looking for, I just graft from that. And I mean, they're great bees, gentle, um, make a lot of honey, build up, in January, they'll start building up, you know. Uh, Actually, they'll lose bees when you get a real good cold front to come in and they cluster. But that's all I've been fooling with. The, with the pole line that with the lab has, Eddie.
Yeah, it's the pole
Yeah.
line.
And they've been fooling with that a while. And I get swarms and removals from around the bee lab. And I started getting a trait from them where they would open up the cells and stuff. The brood that had the varroa in it and stuff. And they said that's what it is. So I've been having it way before you had it.
See, your partner's in here, Schawee.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Dirt Rooster.
Yeah, I was watching Randy burn boxes today.
Where he went? He left?
He's in the chat.
He's there somewhere.
I commented on Randy's video, and he had that video up the other day when he had his burn barrel out, and I said, "You get arrested in California having a burn barrel."
Yeah.
You have a screw loose to live in that state, I'll tell you.
No, I was fine. I was born fine. It just became crazy out here.
Todd, do you have a blue-haired wig you wear to work so you get along with everyone?
No. I just wear a smile. That's it.
He wears a dress so he fits in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I don't fit in that way.
But take it, Todd, you from California?
Yes, sir.
No.
Todd's in California.
Oh.
Y'all leave my West Coast buddy alone.
Oh, I have a few friends in California.
I have one.
I don't know. It's nuts here. So it is.
Todd might be my third friend.
Yeah, I do live in the more normal area. The central valley is where like all the farmers and stuff are at, and so it's
not bad.
It's not too bad. Not like LA or San Francisco. Yeah, it's not fun. I think I paid $5.29 a gallon for regular the other day.
Actually, gas went down 4 cents. I went gas up yesterday. It would drop down 4 cents.
Nah.
Paid
Wow.
$3.38.
I haven't seen a 3 up on the board in I don't know how long. It's been about 3 or 4 years at least.
Wow.
That $3.38, that's cheaper than what it is here.
That's how much your taxes are on a gallon of gas here.
I'm about to say y'all taxes are about that much.
I think ours is around 360.
Yeah, Brent, I did hear of that state, and That's up in Northern California. There's about, I think, 6 counties that wanted to succeed from the state of California and call it the state of Jefferson. And yeah, those are some backwoods people up there. They live. A lot of them live off the grid. So
Been to California one time. We were going to Hawaii, and we boarded a plane. We landed there, boarded the plane, and went across. It's about the only time I've been
lucky you.
there.
They're short enough you didn't catch anything.
Yeah.
I
I've
I
been
was
there
in
twice.
Yuma. I was in Yuma, Arizona one time for a work trip, and I looked at the map, and so I said, well, I'm going to California. So I drove across the Colorado River and turned around and came back.
On
Now I
purpose?
I won't say I've been there.
You made it out. You made it out.
They
I'll
didn't
tell you
check
what,
me for
if you drive across the border and you have fruit in your car, there'll be bells and whistles lighting up right there at the check stations.
But the guns are just fine.
They will go crazy. They always ask you, do you have any fruit? If you say, yeah, I have an apple in the trunk. Okay, pull over there. And then they go through your whole car.
God.
When last time we went, we stopped at a fruit stand about an hour away from the line, and the lady already knew where we were going when we started checking out, and she said, "I think it was tomatoes we had." She said, "You're not going to be able to go into California with them." So we went ahead and before we got there, we went ahead and pulled over somewhere and made tomato sandwiches and eat them before we got across. Everything else we had was okay.
It's crazy. I guess Florida is really getting hammered from, well, their citrus is really getting hammered from something. I guess an insect. But
Oh, really?
they're scared to death that insect's going to be over here sooner or later.
Yeah, they call it a greening disease, right?
Yeah.
The fruit ripens too early and falls off the tree.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
They got that. I think the citrus trees at my mom's house have it now. They're doing that.
Florida's getting pounded by that, whatever it is.
Even her satsuma, they're doing that.
Greening. What is greening?
I don't know.
I never heard of that.
What happens is the leaves get real small and shriveled, and the fruit starts ripening as soon as it comes on the tree, and it's awful. And then it falls off before it's not very good because it hadn't had time to fill out.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that comment by bee collector Rick about honeybees being downgraded to a crop from livestock?
Pennsylvania's working on something with that.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
I missed it on here. Where's it at? Who's
USDA?
838.
Is that USDA?
I don't know.
I don't know who's doing that. I haven't heard about that.
Pennsylvania's working on recategorizing or whatever, and then you have to start getting permits and all kind of stuff to have them. Trying to take them out of livestock is what they're trying to do.
Oh. I wonder if they're doing that and going to stop the tax write-off or whatever that the people putting them in their pastures and stuff, like in Texas or something, and you don't have to pay property taxes or something like that because it's considered livestock.
Yeah, that's why I actually have 3 contracts that I keep them on people's land so they can get their ag exemption.
Yeah.
So
Do they have to have so much land to get that exemption?
it has
Yeah.
to be between, yeah, it has to be between 5 and 20 acres. And it's usually most places, every county is different, but it's most of the time it's 6 hives for the first 5 acres and then 1 hive for every 2.5 acres after that.
Yeah. I had one guy last year, a crabber. He got a bunch of land he wants to put bees on for that. I don't have a problem putting bees on your place, but you're gonna take care of the other stuff. But when I was president of a club by the local here, there people were talking about that. They were saying, "Well, good, I'm gonna do that for my yard." I'm like, it don't work like that. If that was the case, everybody in your subdivision would have a hive in their yard or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a minimum. I think that in Louisiana it's 5 acres too, something like that.
And in Texas, if you have a house on your land, they deduct 1 acre for the house. So you have to have 6 acres if you have a house on.
Yeah.
This is off subject. I know Louisiana won't let. They don't have chicken farms here. The chicken houses. You go across the Mississippi line there, they're everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But
They
one of
have
their
them in
main
North
rules, I
Louisiana.
don't know what all their rules are, but one of them is I think you got to have a minimum of 60 acres or 80, and you have to live on that 80 acres where the chicken houses are.
They had a bunch of them in North Louisiana in the 80s and not early 90s. I think it was Tyson Chicken came in there and set a bunch of people up with those things.
Yeah, they people been making pretty good money, pretty good living with them down in this area. But one of the guys I work with, he had a dairy. He was older than me. He had a dairy all his life, and I worked on the dairy all his life, and he owned it till pretty much like all the rest of them shut down. And he was going to try to utilize his property for chicken farming, and Louisiana wouldn't let him do it. They said, "Nope, it's not going to happen."
When I used to go to Bud had a bee gathering every year up in Macon, Mississippi, and we'll get 50, 75 people from all over the country who just show up. And we even had one became a good friend from New Zealand. Australia. I'm sorry, and they had a lot of chicken farms up there, and egg farms and catfish ponds.
What is weird is you can purchase and have it all the waste from those farms. You can purchase it and have it brought to your acreage and have it dumped on the property and spread out. You can't have a chicken house here. You can have your regular old chicken yard, but the chicken houses,
Yeah.
you can't do that here. But you can have all the waste you want hauled down here and put on your farm.
So we went towards some of them, and you put on these boots, and when you go to walk in, you had to step in this solution of water, or whatever, chemicals or whatever, before you can get in it and stuff.
I done slung us off on chickens, I guess.
So, what's the difference between a chicken house and how many is too many to have?
I don't know.
Well, if you live by close by one. One of them is too many, I guess, because it smells.
I don't know
Yeah.
what JW's doing. He's kind of hiding behind his.
Someone asked him what he is snacking on. I think it was John. John asked
Something very
him.
loud. That's the loudest snack I ever heard, JW.
JW's quiet tonight.
Stink bug flavored chips.
Working
Mouth
hard
is full
on
of
that
potato
snack. Well, guess what time it is, Joey? I got to go.
Oh, now JW's going to ask you some questions.
Now
I think
he'll perk
JW
up.
had a question
Watch,
for
he'll
you.
perk up. You better hurry. You better finish that real quick.
Can't hear you. Got a banana mirror.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let someone join in. I bet Tom's probably.
Oh, we got plenty of room. Don't leave on that. I can hold 10 people.
I gotta. Oh, really? 10? I thought. Oh, okay. No, I gotta start dinner.
What are you having?
Barbecue and a steak, and I got broccoli and some. I'm gonna roast some bell peppers. That'd be that.
They let you
Wow.
barbecue up in California?
For now, they do. I'm waiting on that one. That's
You're gonna have to have your buddy make you a smoker for meats.
Yeah.
The one that's doing the smoker for the hives.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I missed that one.
Pretty soon, they'll outlaw barbecue in here, and that'll be my cue to leave. So, yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, have a good evening. I'll talk to you guys later.
Good seeing you, Todd.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming on.
See
Hey,
you later.
Todd, when are you going to leave here right shortly?
Yes, sir. Why?
Hell, I had a question I was going to ask.
Oh, all right. I knew this was coming. Go ahead.
I
Some
can't.
things never
What
change.
was?
Now you can't think of it?
I forgot it.
Well, email it to me.
What was it, Joey? You remember?
No.
I was telling you that to be sure and ask him if I didn't get in here in time.
You got honey supers on yet, Todd?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're filling up right now.
Nice.
Oh,
Who left?
Schawee.
Uh-oh.
He might have had a disconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can come back.
Everybody's got supers on, and oranges are slowing down. So probably another week, and they'll be done.
Yeah.
Looking like a good flow.
Well,
But
I had to sacrifice production for drawn comb, so we'll see what I get. But I needed drawn comb more than I need drawn comb bad. So we'll see what I get. But right now it looks pretty good. I could smell the honey without opening lids. If I walk between the pallets, I could smell it. So I know there's some they're cooking up some good stuff. So we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Some boxes or some colonies have 3 boxes. Some only have 2, and I'm adding more. Probably tomorrow I'll be adding some more to some more colonies. So we'll see.
Nice. Well, good luck.
Well, thank you. All right, JW, here's your chance.
You made me mad. I'm not going to ask no question.
Well, what'd I do? I didn't do. I did absolutely nothing.
That's what made me mad.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you. You know what the secret to life is? Do you know what the secret of life is, JW?
I'd love
I
to
don't know. I've been
I'd
here
love to know.
82 years. What do you think? Huh?
Well, no. I was just gonna say the secret to life.
Oh,
I knew
man.
that was coming.
I'll never know.
JW, how many boxes did you wax up today?
128.
128.
Wow.
So what's your total this year already?
Oh Lord, I don't know.
1,000?
Yeah, I'd be pushing that above that a little. I imagine. I haven't. We did 800 pieces last weekend.
Oh,
I finished up. I seen he was on here. I don't know if he got if I got my answer come through. Mark Miller, I finished you up today. You're ready to go south. If you're still on here.
he was earlier.
It was part of his boxes that I did today, and I did some from the Amish and a few for myself, and a few for one other guy. So I had 128 pieces total. Incoming.
Probably Mike Berry calling him.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark's on here, I guess.
Yeah, there he is.
I got you covered, buddy. You're ready to go.
Sorry, that was me.
Philip, what all you had going on today or this week?
Well, I came out this morning to the farm because it was going to be too cold early, so I just came in and got here about noon and went out and worked 1 yard. I think I worked 12 hives, and I got another 12 to do tomorrow. But I'm just doing. I'm trying to finish my split. I'm just doing a vertical split on as many as I can, so I can alleviate swarming and also get newer queens. A lot of my queens are too old.
I was watching your video the other day, cutting out, making them frames, triangle frames. I said, what is he going to do with that? It all made sense in the end.
Yeah, I got 3 of those in the back. I'm going to hang some more. I checked.
Yeah.
I refreshed my 4 or 5 of the traps out here today, and the first one I was pretty discouraged because there wasn't even a bee flying around the thing. But the next couple I went by at least had a couple of bees flying around them. They weren't being totally ignored. But it's you could almost set your watch by my swarms are going to be right around the 15th of April. And it's been that way. And every box will have a swarm in it, or it has the last 3 years.
I think our swarming season was a little late getting started right here around me, but they all trying to catch up now.
It's in full swing right now.
Yeah. I watched one leave today. I don't know what box it come out of, but it was out of my yard.
Yeah.
And I just kind of waved them off.
I went through my hives that are north of Dallas, and one of them had swarm cells, and it was the one that I didn't get around to. It's a double stacked 8 framer, and I was going to put it in 10s, and I didn't, but I couldn't find the queen. Still had a lot of bees, so I just split it into 3 different. But it's still stacked. But the way my double screen board and my boxes work, I can put a divider in the middle and split it into 2 5-frame newts. So what I do when I find swarm cells is I put some cells in the original colony at the bottom, and then I'll put 2 above it, and they have different entrances one going one way and one going out the back. So when I find swarm cells, I can have 3 opportunities to get queens back basically on the same stack. But I haven't seen any swarm cells on these, and it's amazing I haven't. I've got those things I call Texas Deeps, which are basically like that Vino Farms. It's like a 1.5 frames. Those things are packed out, and I don't have any way of splitting those other than bring another hive in and split them. But I'm not trying to increase my numbers on that style. But I was wishing today I had a bunch of queens or queen cells. I would have made packages out of those darn hives. I could have gotten 3 packages out of each one of those darn things. They were so.
I found a Texas deep frame today.
Did you?
I guess sometime last year, I must have left a frame out. I had to leave a frame out in the bottom box, and I went to take one of the frames out, and it kept pulling on something. I said, "What in the world's going on?" And it had a whole comb that big come off. And every bit of it was drone cells and drone brood.
They put a lot of drones in the bottom of those that I have.
Yeah. But I guess I was hot and tired that day and thought I had the box full, but they just went straight down with it. It was like about the 3rd frame in the box.
I got to one of mine. It was actually the last hive I looked at. It was one of those, and I pulled up the outside, and it was really just pollen and some honey, but it had 2 inches thick of bees on it, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. And every frame in there was like that, and most of them had brood, and it had tons of drones, and I'm like, how am I not seeing any swarm cells? I don't know how they could. She didn't have anywhere to lay in this 10 frame. It's basically a deep and a half space, and it's packed. I'm like, I just threw a queen excluder on the top and put a medium super on it and said, well, there's a little bit extra space. Maybe that'll do something with that.
Yeah.
And went on.
I threw a few supers on today on 4 hives with some comb.
Hey, Eddie, you can hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear none of y'all.
Oh, really?
Really?
I don't know what's going on now.
We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. My phone is running out of battery fast. I'm watching it go down to 1% every 30 seconds. So I'm gonna get off of here and put it on the charger and just listen to you guys.
All right.
All right. Enjoy talking to y'all.
See you later, Phil.
See you later.
Phil.
Hey, JW, what's it run to get a box wax dipped? I'm just curious. I can't hear you.
You muted, JW.
What'd you ask, Eddie? I was too busy eating.
I was wondering what it runs to get boxes waxed dipped.
I don't usually charge for it. I just do it, to my friends. I guess I don't usually charge. I think Randy out there in Carolina's Randy Sutter, I think Tar Heel Beekeepers is what he goes by on these things. I think he charges $6 a box.
I was just curious.
Yeah, they have some fellas down here. They'll charge $7 a box.
I wouldn't.
What?
If I did charge, I wouldn't charge over $5. I don't think. I think you can. I'm not in it for the, to try to make money on the deal. I just try to accommodate folks. But I think the standard's 5 to 6 or 7 probably. It's pretty expensive, Yeah. Wax is going out of sight. It's really high.
Schawee, who bought Frank? How you say his name? Cormier. Yeah, who bought his business out?
I don't know.
I heard he sold it.
Yeah, he got out of it. I don't know who bought it.
He did a good job with his, and he had some nice boxes too. I bought a couple years from him.
Yeah, but the guy that bought it is not going to be run like he did. It's going to be like appointment. You got to call him to make sure he's home or something like that.
So he's not going to be building boxes and selling them, huh?
I'm sure he is, but
Oh,
And I can't think of his name, but I don't know him. But he, it's not going to be one that you just show up. You have to make an appointment with
okay.
him.
Well, I always did that with Frank anyway.
Yeah,
I called Frank up and
yeah, that's a long
asked him.
ride.
Yeah, it's nearly 3 hours for me.
Yeah.
That's why when I went, I'd get a whole trailer load. But I was wondering if he bought Frank's place or he'd moved it all somewhere else.
Ah,
Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen Frank's business?
no.
Look, well, it kind of reminded me of some of these big baskets that they use in some of these crawfish houses them big old vats.
Yeah.
Yeah, the basket was like 6 foot by 6 foot, I think, or 6 foot by 4. And he'd load that basket up with all kind of pieces, and he'd put it down in that big tank. In 6 to 8 minutes, he'd bring it up, let it drain a little bit, and then bring it over and take it all out and dump another. Man, that thing looked like his tank looked like the bed of a truck.
Hey.
You got to put something on the top of that wood where it'll float right.
Yeah,
up.
he's got in his basket. He had a thing that locked it down on there.
Yeah, you got to have something, or it'll stay on top.
I took pictures of it, but I doubt I could ever find them. Show it.
No, I've never been to his place.
Yeah, it's a long way from me. I know that.
Yeah.
It'd take a whole day to go get them and come back. Me and the wife just used to make a day of it. We'd stop somewhere and eat. But he's down there. What do you call where he's at?
Gosh. I
I
can't.
forgot the name of the little town. Let's see if I got it on his phone number.
And Jeff's got a buddy that does it now with a mobile unit, right?
Yeah, but he's a truck driver now.
He's still learning, I think, too.
Yeah, because he was supposed to do 100 boxes for me when he did Jeff's, but I think they were having some problems and stuff because it was his first run or whatever.
Yeah.
But they told me that he's not doing them right now because he's a truck driver. He's driving all over the country.
Yeah. Walsh, Louisiana. Walsh or Welsh?
Welsh.
Welsh, yeah, it's WELSH.
Yeah, that's Welsh.
That's right by. Dang, I accidentally dialed his number.
No.
But that's right by.
Wake up.
Where Steve Rocket Man, that used to be on videos with Jeff all the time.
Yeah.
Is one little town over from there. I forgot where he's at.
But I think he just retired though, huh? What I understood from him.
I guess.
But this guy that bought him out, he has another job, so that's why it's going to be, you have to call to make sure he's home or whatever. At one time, I was thinking about doing that, but I can't be home all the time like that,
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to have to run. It's been fun.
Night, Keith.
Y'all take care.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, no problem, Joey. Y'all have fun. Have a good week. Keep them bees rolling.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Take care, Keith.
We will catch y'all later.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Yep. I think I'm gonna be the next one to go.
Keith's up there in North Carolina.
Oh, that's where he's from?
Yeah, he's in North Carolina. some of God's country up there, man.
Yeah.
Ripple, you talking about where the wax dipping guy was at? That's in South Louisiana somewhere, deep south. Yeah, that's who we talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's the only one I know that does it. Other than that guy that was doing Jeff's ones, but
he said
um,
James. Rob said James.
James.
James bought him out.
I know he sold a lot of equipment.
Oh man, he had it going on. He had one big building. It was maybe it wasn't real big, maybe a 40 by 60 is where all his boxes were stored. And he had another one about that size where he put all the boxes together. And just outside of that, there was a lean-to off of that big shed where his wax cooker was at. He kept somebody employed with him all the time. That's a good.
JW, have you
Yeah.
ever figured out how much wax goes into like a deep box? Is it a half a pound, quarter of a
Well,
pound?
fellas, I'm gonna call it a night.
Well, I appreciate you, Schawee.
Good night,
All right,
Shawee.
and this is
Nice
every
meeting you,
Saturday.
Schawee.
Every Saturday, unless something happens.
All right. Well, I'll see y'all next Saturday.
All righty.
See
All
you
right,
later.
y'all
Right.
take care.
Well, I'm sorry. What was you asking, Mike?
I was asking JW how much wax like a deep box takes. He's muted.
To get there, I'm trying.
What did he say?
I don't know.
He's trying. He's got a mouthful. He'll be back.
All right, I've been eating, and everybody talks about me making so much racket. I must have the most sensitive mic in the world. 'Cause I'm 2
It
foot.
sounds like it.
So,
So,
I don't know for sure. I'm going to say less than a pound. I just don't honestly know, and I've done it for 15, 17 years, and I don't know how much it takes.
how much wax you been through this year?
How much wax have I been through this year? I don't know. I've got 2 tanks I run off of. I've got one I built and then one I bought off of Jed Thorne.
How do you like your thorn one?
Hey, I was by myself. It's a double.
Yeah.
I can run usually five, depends on what there's 8 frames. 10 frames, different stuff, but I'm going to say I've probably been through 150 pounds of wax probably in a two tank, because it's kind of hard to keep track of. Each one of them holds 700 pounds of wax that I've got.
Cost you a few dollars to fill them, doesn't it?
800, about 800. But I've never, I just keep adding to it over the years. My old tanks, I did have a big one that held 1,200 pounds, and I got rid of it. I sold it and built me a smaller one. Then this past winter, I bought one of those thorns, and I really like it. It's a lot handier than my homemade ones. But you know, I'm one of them guys. I don't keep track of that kind of stuff. If I need more wax, I just put some more in. You know, so
Look who showed up.
add to it. Mm. Hello from Colorado.
Yeah.
I waxed those. You was asking about. I waxed. I was by myself. I waxed 128 pieces in 5.5 hours. Is what it took me like to do. I started at 2:30 and got done. You know, just well, I just walked in the house when I came on here. I had text Joe. I had text and called Joey. Told him I was going to be late, so I just walked in the house and finished up, kind of cleaned up my mess a little bit, and stacked all my stuff. But it's real efficient for a wax dipper, for an individual wax dipper. I don't intend to go commercial. I have no absolute intentions whatsoever. But I don't mind doing it for folks. If I have the time, and I usually got it. I'm going to start working bees in the morning. I'm telling you, I've got to get with the program.
Have you not been in your bees yet, JW?
Nothing serious. I haven't. I just pulled my. Finished up my. Formic. Just jerked my formic pads off last week. I'm letting things settle down, and next week, the end of next week, the 4th is my first day. I'm going to OAV. I've got them for my 25 days. I use that, and I've done it ever since for several years. And people have heard me say it before. I call it the Kent Williams special. I use one pad of formic. Pull the pad off after 10 or 12 days, but whatever's handy. And at the 25th day, I give them a heavy shot of OAV. It's my spring treatment. I'm just finishing it up, and I got one more hive yard to OAV yet, and I'll be done.
You just do one round of OAV after the formic?
Yeah. Well, I'll do more as needed, but I for sure do that one at 25 days to clean
when you
up.
say a heavy shot, how many grams are you talking?
Depends on what kind of mood, how mad I am at my bees. I don't follow. I'm not too much one to follow protocol, so to speak.
He's not going to say it. He's not going to say it in public.
Yeah, well,
I mean, 4 grams per box got approved this year, so that's a lot.
You know, I run a little stouter than that if I think I need it. You know, I don't really have a bad problem. I'm going to say 4's more than sufficient. Some of my lighter boxes, I won't even run that much. You know, I may run 2, and I have run up to 8 on a box.
See that question, JW?
I try to run, I run at 300 and 10 to 15 minutes. They say you don't have to go that long, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'll run different for a longer period of time than most people. I used to run 20 on my old one, but I've cut it down. I run 10 to 15 minutes each session, each dipping. And I try to keep it right at 300. It's pretty hard to do with that flooring that if you got a lot uh, if you got a lot of water in your box in the wood, it foams pretty hard, and it slows you down because you can foam your tanks over if the boxes that you get got a lot of moisture in them. That'll have some effect upon how long you run them for.
So dipping those boxes at that temperature, that doesn't hurt the glue any.
Doesn't seem to. I've never had one. I use Type Bond 3. It never. If you got some glue on your woodware, it'll turn it dark. It'll make it turn dark brown.
Yeah.
But
I've had JW. I've had actually Luann wax dipped, and doesn't hurt it. Not only that, but the Luann then doesn't absorb water. It sat outside in the snow and the rain and everything. It didn't even, because Luann, right? You sneeze on
sure.
that stuff, it delaminates.
Yeah.
But this stuff sat in the weather for years and it never delaminated, so it makes it quite robust.
If I break some of my bigger boxes down, but I use run mostly 8s anymore. When I used to, make nukes and stuff, I'd split them down. I use Luann. That's what I use in wax bit, and that's what I use for dividers.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Dividers in double fives.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff, but I decided to use it anyway, and it seemed to work out. But no, the wax dipping doesn't hurt the. I mean, I guess if you use crappy glue, it might, but like I know hide glue will let go with heat, but Type Bond 3 is a fantastic glue.
I've never had it break down. Man, it'll hold. It holds very well. It's what I use. I'm not saying that's the best, but it's what I use.
Yeah, I've used Elmer's waterproof glue, and I'll never buy this stuff again.
No,
I had to buy it because there was this an interruption in supply of Type Bond 3, and I had to try some other stuff, and that stuff's garbage.
Now, believe it or not, what seems to work pretty good, I've used it. I use it to glue I make my own insulated feeder shims, and I use an inch. I use a half inch of that. I don't know what you call it. The insulations that got the metal. Oh goodness gracious!
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called either.
The shiny stuff on it.
Yeah.
Cover on it.
I do, sir.
It's a polystyrene with a foil.
Yeah, the foil is what I'm trying to come up with and say. I glued that half inch insulation polystyrene with the foil on it to a 1 inch of the high density foam insulation, and I make it and I glued that together with. I do use the spray Gorilla Glue, and by gosh, I've never had one of those come apart either.
Yeah, that's a urethane. That's a urethane glue.
That's the only thing I used it for, is to put the glue that together.
Yeah.
But it worked quite well. I just make it like a book cover and tape the sides where you can just open it up when I'm feeding. I use it on the feeder shims in the wintertime. So I can go in without going down in the boxes. So just what I do.
I'm building my covers, and I'm realizing I'm going to run out of Type Bond, so I have to buy another gallon or two.
We went through about a half a gallon last weekend putting boxes together.
I've gone through half. Well, I opened up a new gallon probably a week ago, and it's near half gone now. So definitely not going to spin out for the rest of my covers.
Ripple eye on the wax dippers. I've got a homemade one that I built myself. It's tube 2 foot deep, and then I got a one from Thorn Manufacturing. If you look him up there on the internet, it's Jeff Thorn. He's out of Wausau, Wisconsin. It's a really a nice. If you go to buy one, they're quite expensive, but they're in my opinion, are well worth the money. If you go and wax a lot, dip a lot of stuff. It's a Thorn. He's got a website. You can look up Thorn Manufacturing on the internet, and it'll show them to you. The only thing is, if I was going to criticize it in any manner, I think it could use a little larger burner. It takes about 4.5 hours if you got a full tank of wax to get it up to 300 degrees. I turned the burner on at 10:30, and there's 2:30 before I had it hot enough I could run, wax, dip woodware. I'd like to have a little bigger burner. Of course, I was overkill on my old tank. I made it out of a 1/4-inch plate steel. I made it myself, and I had an old boiler, a 20-inch boiler burner underneath it, and it would get hot, and I could get a full tank of 750, 800 pounds of wax up to 300 degrees with it in about an hour and a half. So I'd like, but it's the Thorn tank's all stainless too, and my other one just metal plate, 3/16, 1/4-inch. I made 2 different ones in my life. I made the first one I made too big. It took too much wax. And a guy that was going to do it commercially come in here from Indiana, and I sold it to him. Yeah, there's your Thorn.
Thorn right there.
Yeah.
You can cook some by one's draining.
Each side, and it's pretty well balanced out. It's one man could operate it pretty efficiently if you got, you end up, I end up waiting on it, even on 10-minute dips on each side. It depends on what you put in. You can either run usually 4 to 5 deep boxes.
Well, y'all, I think I'm about to bow out. It's about that time. I gotta get up early.
I think we are too. We're just a few minutes away from 2 hours. So.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on, and good night, y'all.
See you, Eddie.
See you.
Nice talking to you.
Same here. Good night.
Well, I guess we could go ahead and shut it down.
I'm going to leave you pretty shortly, Joey.
Yeah.
I was eating, Doug. I was eating my snack supper while I just come in. I haven't washed my hands or anything.
Yeah. I just want to tell Ripple, appreciate the little super chats there. And glad everybody over in the chat come in. Hope y'all had fun. And we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks, Joey.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
y'all.
everyone.